Have you ever taken a quiz online that completely transformed the way you think about learning? I'm talking about a quiz that doesn't just test your knowledge, but actually teaches you something valuable while you're taking it. This little known format is a true revolution, and after implementing it for our clients, we've seen engagements jump by over 180% compared to traditional content. In this video, I'm going to reveal exactly what a teaching quiz is and why it's such a powerful tool for businesses, creators, educators, and I'll walk you through the psychology behind why it works so well, show you real examples of a teaching quiz that has generated tons of leads, and then break down step by step how you can build one for yourself using bubble.io. And this isn't just theory. We've implemented teaching quizzes for multiple clients who've seen massive increases in lead generation and user engagement. Some have even told us it's the most useful and valuable addition they've made to their online presence in years. Now, I could just give you a basic explanation of teaching quizzes, anybody else would, but that's not how we do things here at ratio.dev. Instead, I put together a whole framework of how real businesses use this technology to drastically increase their conversion rates. And the best part is that I'm adding all of these pieces into our no-code resource center that you can get access to for free. All you need to do is either use the link in the description below or go to ratio.dev and sign up. You put in your name and your email and you will get access. The resource center has vetted plugins, it has how-to videos, it has our podcast episodes, it's got great books, it's got a whole bunch of stuff that we're updating every week to improve your journey with Bubble. So with that out of the way, that was a shameless plug, by the way, so totally honest here. Let's jump into the main content and get started. So what exactly is a teaching quiz? Well, imagine if you could combine the engagement of an interactive quiz with the educational value of a blog post or a mini course. Well, that's exactly what a teaching quiz does. Most online quizzes fall into two basic categories. Infotainment quizzes like which Marvel character are you? Or assessment quizzes that test what you already know or evaluate your situation to give you insight into your personal position regarding whatever the subject matter is. But a teaching quiz is fundamentally different. Instead of just asking questions, a teaching quiz provides valuable context, information, videos, instructions between the questions of the quiz. This creates a unique two-way learning experience where users aren't just passively consuming content, they're actively engaging with it. They're making decisions and they're being guided towards a personalized result based on their responses. So let's think about why teaching quizzes are so powerful. Why do they work so much better than traditional content? It all comes down to the fundamental principles of how we work, of human psychology. First, there's the principle of active engagement. Research from educational psychology shows that when we actively participate in learning, rather than just sitting there and consuming, our retention rates go up by almost 75%. So a teaching quiz forces users to engage, to process information, and make decisions. And all of that dramatically increases how much they remember by the end. The second thing is personalization. Each person taking your quiz gets a slightly different experience based on their responses. So in a world where users are bombarded with generic content, this more personalized approach really cuts through the noise. And third, and this might surprise you, is the principle of micro commitments. When someone answers the first question in your quiz, psychologically, they've made a small commitment to the process. And this significantly increases the likelihood that they'll complete the entire quiz and take whatever action is your call to action at the end. I saw this firsthand when I was working with a finance education company. Their traditional blog posts had an average of 37 seconds of read time, but their teaching quiz had an average completion time of over 4 minutes. And that's more than 6 times the engagement. All right, number 3 here is the real-world applications of teaching quizzes. Now let's just dig in and look at how businesses are actually using teaching quizzes to drive results. In the coaching and consulting space, a teaching quiz is revolutionary for lead generation. Instead of the typical download this free PDF lead magnet that everybody kind of just ignores now, consultants are creating teaching quizzes like Discover Your Business Blind Spot that deliver personalized insights while capturing qualified leads. For SaaS companies, teaching quizzes are perfect for educating potential customers about complex products while capturing valuable data. One of our clients, project management software company, created a project management maturity teaching quiz that not only educated the users about best practice, but helped identify which features would benefit them most, all by capturing leads and segmenting the follow-up, targeted follow-up, because they had real context about the person that had taken the quiz. E-commerce businesses can use teaching quizzes for product recommendations. So imagine a skincare brand with a teaching quiz that educates customers about their skin type while guiding them to the perfect products for their specific needs. What makes all these examples powerful is that they're providing genuine value up front. They're building trust and authority, and they're engaging users in a way that static content simply can't match. Okay, so what I want to do now is to just give you a taste of what a teaching quiz is actually like. So what I'm going to do is share with you a sample quiz that we built for one of our customers. It is a startup nonprofit that helps young women get into college and succeed with their education. And one of their programs is a startup accelerator program that they do for high school seniors. And this is just a sample quiz that we put together that not only walks them through the process of explaining their project to be evaluated by the team that chooses the winners of the accelerator, but also gives them a custom diploma at the end. It uses AI to analyze those responses, personalized evaluation of this startup idea. It teaches them as they go along what they need to learn about running or starting a new business. And so I'm just going to click here on Take Quiz, and you're going to see here that the quiz just pops up. It says Start Now. By the way, Seeds of Fortune is an amazing project. They do really great work with young women, and we're proud to work with them. So that's something I just really wanted to get out there and say. So we're going to start here. And now the first thing you see is that it's going to guide them through the process step by step, giving them content, so written content, embedded videos here about why I made this. And then they get to answer the quiz questions speaking. So here they are there. Look for gaps in the market. Consider this. They can watch the video. And then it says, explain your overall business idea. And they can either type in here, which this is focused for teenagers, so you're probably not going to get them typing a very long response, or they can just click on the microphone and start talking to it and say, hey, I want to start a business that sells chocolate ice cream cones to Eskimos in the North Pole. Okay, I'm obviously just riffing here. So they answer that question. They go to the next one. And here they are, is name 3 problems that you'd like to solve in the world, your community or your neighborhood. And then the next one is select 1 problem you'd like from those 3. And there's some text here that tells them about what they need to do. So I could come in here, and the I can just answer this. Hey, the three problems that I'd like to solve is that there's a real problem that people who live in the North Pole never get to learn to enjoy ice cream. They are always drinking hot chocolate and they miss out on chocolate, strawberry, all these great things that ice cream can provide. And that could also lead them to burning their taste buds because everybody knows hot chocolate's really hot. So I think that my startup, by taking ice cream to the North Pole, will alleviate these three problems. Okay, I have a feeling I'm not going to win best startup idea here, but you can see it's taken my text, it's written it in there. And the one problem here is that people in the North Pole never get to enjoy great ice cream. Okay. And here we are, and what type of, select what your business offers customers. And here it's explaining to them, it's saying, okay, is this a product or service? Well, in this case, it's a product. We give them ice cream. Will your business be a nonprofit or a for-profit? And it gives them an image here and some text to explain to them what that is. Well, we're selling ice cream. We want to make some money off this. And besides, I bet all those people living up in the North Pole really want ice cream. And basically, as we go through this process, each step is guiding them through a pathway, but they're learning as they go. So they're learning about, every business has a statement of purpose and what does that mean? And then they get to put in their purpose. And by the time they get to the end, and I'm going to just skip through the steps here. You can see here resources, another video in there explaining what they need to do, what they need to learn. Here we are talking pricing and revenue. Hey, by the way, that's not ice cream. I think that is some sort of a face cream or something. But anyway, yeah, body butter it is. Okay, but it looks like ice cream. That was pretty good. All right, and yeah, we just go through here. How will you use the $3,000 if you're to win the pitch off? And then we can just come here to the end. You've answered all of this. This is going to go off and boom, give them a customized certificate here. You can see now the whole process of how this works and how this can be such a powerful tool to combine teaching with providing value to your users and creating an experience for them that really stands out. So let me tell you now the key elements of an effective teaching quiz. And after analyzing and building a lot of these, I've identified 5 essential elements that separate the top performing ones from the rest. First, valuable educational content. This seems obvious, but your quiz should teach something genuinely useful to your audience, not just repackage some common knowledge. The education happens in the content between the questions. So you can add texts and images and videos just like we saw. And by the way, if you include videos that aren't necessarily yours, but that are really, really high value, you're kind of leveraging the credibility of those other creators. So that is definitely doable, and it actually anchors the quality of your content with theirs. So don't be afraid to mix content that comes from other top-notch creators into your teaching quiz. If it really speaks to the message, then that's perfectly fine. Second, strategic question sequencing. So the best teaching quizzes follow a logical progression that builds understanding while maintaining engagement. So it should flow naturally. It shouldn't get old. Don't try to make a 30-question quiz. People won't do that much. Keep it short. Use elements like the audio inputs that I just showed you to keep it flowing well. Don't make them type out lots of things. You can use different types of questions. So multiple choice questions, true, false, one-line answers, audio inputs, whatever. Just mix it up so that it is a fun experience for your user. And third, use personalized feedback loops. So like giving them that personalized certificate at the end, or creating an AI-generated report based on their specific answers that they can take and apply in their real-life situation. Those kinds of things are really important. And then make it really easy for them to share. So if they've just had a great experience with your teaching quiz, they're going to be willing to hit a share button and post it on LinkedIn or on Twitter or Facebook or wherever else, or send a link to a friend by email. Okay? And the easier you make that to happen, the more viral your teaching quiz will become. And fourth, you really need a clear value exchange. So users are investing their time in taking your quiz. They're doing the work. So you have to provide value back. You have to make it worth their while. Because if you don't, you'll leave them with a bad taste in their mouths. And finally, a compelling next step. So it should actually lead them to taking action. So if your teaching quiz is all about solving some specific business problem that they're having in their business, at the end, give them the opportunity to buy your product that solves that problem, or to hire you to help solve that problem for them. Make it a seamless experience that ends in their transformation from having a problem to not having a problem. If you can do that, you're going to make them happy. And they're going to be more than happy to pay you for it. So how do we do this in Bubble? Well, the great thing about Bubble is that it gives you complete control over the whole user experience without having to be a coder. So the process starts with planning your content and your questions. What do you want to teach them? Once you've got your content mapped out, you'll need to design your quiz structure in Bubble. We have a framework for this. So if you'd like to leverage work that we already have done and then just adapt it to your needs, reach out to us. We'll be glad to have a conversation and see if we can get you that framework so that you can jumpstart yourself on this road. You can also personalize the whole process, though, so that you might take the first question might be, you're just starting out, do you have some experience? Are you very experienced? And based on that choice, take them down one path or another. That makes the experience more personal for them as well. While I could spend hours here talking about this, because you can tell I really do believe in this solution, I think the best next step for you is to go to the link below and get into our no-code resource center, go through the help information there, the how-to videos that we've created, videos about creating quizzes, how we do it in Bubble, that's already in there. If you get stuck, reach out to us, leave a comment, whatever, and we'll definitely help you out. And remember that once you've built your quiz, you need to understand how it's performing, to optimize it, to get more results, better results, to track user engagement, how many people are starting, how many people are completing, how long is it taking them to do that. One of the cool things about this is it provides you with an awfully lot of really valuable insight into who your users are and what problems they're facing. Remember that the value you're getting is already very high. So be sure to return at least twice as much to your users. And then remember that you want to make it so that you can change, so you can pivot, so you can add questions as you detect changes in the market, or change a section, or maybe options for questions need to be, the answers need to be different. So make sure that you have a database structure that makes that really easy to accomplish. You don't want to just be hard coding in questions in Bubble and take them from step to step, because then you're going to have this one piece of monolithic workflow that can't adapt. So that's another really cool thing about the framework that we've built, is that it's already done for you. You can add questions, you can change the question types, it already supports audio inputs. It's already ready for you just to adapt it to your specific needs and your specific look and feel and brand experience, and exactly what you want the experience to be for your customers. So conclusions are that teaching quizzes represent a very powerful evolution in online content. They combine the engagement of a quiz with the impact of personalization, the authority building of providing real educational value. And they don't just give your users answers, they can help them transform the entire learning experience. And when you do it right, this really generates powerful results. But here's the thing, most people will watch a video and they won't do anything. If you're just here saying, wow, I like this idea of a teaching quiz, well, don't stop. Go to the link below and get access to the no-code resource center. Go through the materials there. Reach out to us and ask to get access to our framework for teaching quizzes. And if you get stuck, like I said, we are more than happy to get on a call and see if we can help you get to your goal as quickly as possible. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it has provided some real value to you, and I'll see you on the next one.